welcome to Book Chicks. I am Jules, and today we are going to be talking about City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I just finished this book about 2 days ago, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. It's just one of those books that you pick up and you just keep reading and reading, and you don't want to put it down, and when you do, it's just all you think about. Like, you just don't stop thinking about it. It's amazing. It's just a fantastic book. Right before I was finished this book, I had one chapter left. I had the very last chapter and the epilogue left in this book. And I went on a youth retreat for the weekend and I forgot to bring the book. So I had to wait 3 days to finish this book. And I was dying all weekend. It was horrible. It was awful. So I got home and almost the first thing I did was pick up the book and finish it. If you don't know, this book follows a girl named Clarys, and she is 15 years old, and one day her and her best friend Simon decide to go clubbing, and they go to this club called Pandemonium, and Clary sees these 3 teenagers and they're covered in tattoos, and she sees them commit a murder. The problem is that she is the only person that can see them, and she's the only person that saw the murder. And this is Clary's first encounter with the Shadow Hunters. The Shadow Hunters are the name for people that hunt demons. They are demon hunters, and the person that they killed is not actually a person, but a demon. So she is then thrown into this world, and she's super confused, and they won't explain anything to her about why they killed this person, and she's just super confused. And then later, when she gets home, she finds that her house is completely destroyed, her mother is gone, and there's a demon inside her house. And she is freaking out and she's trying to stop this demon, but she has no idea what she's doing. And then Jace, who is one of the 3 shadow hunters that she saw at the club, comes and she kills the demon with his help. Jace then takes her to this place called the Institute, and Clary is just thrown into this shadow hunter world, and she's trying to find her mother, and other things happen that I will not tell you because I do not want to spoil this book for you. It is just altogether an amazing book, and I just realized that I'm still holding it, so I'm going to put it down. Yes. One of the things that I just love and adore about this book is the characters. They are just amazing characters. I love Clary. She's just an amazing main character, and she just is awesome. And she kind of, at the beginning, she kind of got on my nerves, but it was only because she knew nothing about this world, and she kind of just jumped into situations, and she didn't. Of course, she did that because she didn't know anything about the world. And I kept having to remind myself that she was 15. She's supposed to be 15, and 15-year-olds don't always make the best decisions. But the characters in these books are just spot on and awesome, and there's just a wide variety of them, and they're so well thought out, and they're just amazing, and yes. Another thing that I love about this book is the world building. Cassandra Clare does an amazing job of building her world and explaining everything in such detail that you can just picture it in your head so clearly. And it's just amazing, and I love when books do that. But another thing that I love about it is that it doesn't go too much into detail. It explains it in the perfect amount. You don't get so much that you're just bored with it and you're just like, okay, stop, get back to the story. She just gives you the perfect amount of explanation and what everything looks like. It's just amazing. One of the things that I didn't quite like about this book is that it kind of gave you a lot of information at random points. Like, it would just tell the story and then explain everything in random information dumps almost. It was just kind of, at those points it did kind of get boring and kind of dry. But at the same time, it was nice to figure out what was going on. It just kind of needed to be spread out more. But all in all, it was a fantastic book, fantastic read. I could not put it down. It was just amazing. If you have not read this book, go pick it up, read it, get your hands on it, borrow it from a friend, anything, just get your hands on this book and read it. If you have not read this book, though, it is now time for you to leave because I'm going to spoil the book. So goodbye, 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 goodbye. If you have read the book, feel free to stay. Please stay. Don't leave. Just stay here. Don't leave. Yes, yes, stay here. I do really want to talk about the characters in this book because I just love and adore them. I already talked about Clarys, so I'm just going to move on from her. Jace. I love Jace. He is just awesome, and when in the book, when Clary is explaining him in a fight and he's just smirking the whole time like it doesn't even bother him, I'm just like, you're awesome. What the heck? Who smiles during a battle? You're just like, yes, I'm killing monsters. And it's just hilarious, and he's awesome. And I know some people don't really like him because he's so conceited and self-centered, but he's just hilarious, and it's awesome. I don't know. Isabel. I love Isabel. She's just a great side character. She just adds so much, and I'm just like, yeah, Isabel, go girl power. She's just so awesome. Alec. I didn't really like Alec in the beginning. I thought he was kind of annoying, and that whole endeavor with Clary and Alec screaming at each other in the hallway, I was just like, please stop, please stop. But at the end, he did grow on me a little bit. I don't know, he was just, I don't know what happens with him in the other books, and I assume that I will gradually start to like him, and he did redeem himself a lot in the end of the book, but he kind of annoyed me in the beginning. Hodge. Hodge in the beginning of this book was awesome. I was like, yay, mentor person. I like mentor people. They're cool and they're really insightful, and they always have these insightful lines, kind of like Dumbledore almost. Like, you look at any Dumbledore quote and you could just hang it on your wall or something. They're just awesome. Like, that's why I loved Hodge. And then he goes and blows it. He goes and just ruins the entire thing. I'm like, okay, Hodge, yeah, you go and betray all these people. Sure, why not? So now I don't like Hodge. He just got weird, and all he wanted for his stupid curse to be lifted, which I get. I wouldn't want to be stuck in the same house for eternity either, but come on. Like, you basically raised these children. What are you doing? Jocelyn. I don't really have a lot to say about Jocelyn because she was unconscious and missing the entire book, basically. And except for the first chapter, basically. So I don't really have a lot to say about Jocelyn, except from what Clary says, and supposedly from what Clary says, she's amazing and awesome and wonderful. So we're just trusting Clary on this one. I really liked Valentine as a villain. I thought he was interesting, and he had backstory, and I don't know, I just liked him for some reason. I was kind of disappointed at the end where I just expected this huge battle and endeavor, and nothing really happened. He was like, oh yes, I have the mortal cup now, I shall step through this glass, goodbye. And that was it. So, I don't know what happens in the next book. I kind of hope it just proceeds right from the story, but I don't really know. But do not spoil it for me because I have only read the first book. So if you know, please don't say anything. I actually saw the movie before I read this book, so I knew most of what was going to happen in this book. So I knew that Jace and Clary were going to end up as brother and sister. And yes, I just fell in love with them anyway. They're just so adorable, and I'm like, meh. What are you doing to me? You're ripping my heart out. These poor children. But I don't know what happens with that either, so don't say anything. I also knew that Valentine ended up being Clarys' father, and I think if I didn't know that, I probably would have guessed it because you figure out that Clary's mom, Jocelyn, was dating or was married to Valentine, and then there wasn't a big enough time gap for her to date someone else and have Clary, so I think if I didn't know that, I probably would have guessed it early on. It was still an interesting plot twist, and I don't know. It was just interesting, and props to Cassandra Clare for coming up with that intertwined plot. I couldn't do that. I just don't understand. I forgot about Luke. Luke. I love Luke. I just love all these characters. It's bad. I just love all of them. If I hadn't seen the movie, I wouldn't have expected him to be a werewolf at all. There's like no hinting at it at all, except for when they're in his house and they see those weapons, but that's not a big hint. But he is just such a great father figure to Clary, and I love their relationship, and it's just adorable. And then when he was about to die, when Valentine was like over him and he was about to throw the knife down and Clary lunged in front of him, I'm just like, you're melting my heart right now. You're killing me. What are you doing? It was so sad. And I was like, no, don't kill Luke. Don't kill Luke. But he didn't die, so that's good. I just overall adored this book, and I'm like so excited about it. I just keep thinking about it, and it's so annoying because I'm trying to do school or something and I just keep thinking about this book. It's awful. It's just on my mind 24/7, and I keep thinking about it, and I don't have the next book, so I have to go out and get the next book. If you have not read this book, please, please, please go and read it. It is so fantastic. It is so good. Please go and get it. Well, I guess that's it for today. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.